Alright, so here is our 2005 Chevy Cobalt. A friend of ours had it, her sister actually. It is junk. The bottom, these things only have those unibodies, but this thing underneath is got holes in it like I've never seen before. So even though it's got a nice little 2.2 Eco motor in it, I had this motor earlier in the car. Great little motor, ton of space up here, which I'm kind of excited about because that way we're not going to worry about anything busting up. She is not roadworthy, so we gave her a little bit of money and we took it off her hand. You know, the body not too bad, a couple of dents here or there, but it is no longer roadworthy. So we are going to start now. We're in the falls, it's October, and next Saturday the 17th, my wife is actually going to take a run with this little girl. She said, I asked her if she wanted to do it earlier in the summer. She kind of was like, yeah, sure. And then she said, hey, I want to do that car in a derby, because it was a friend of hers that gave it to us. So that's what we're going to do. So today, right now, I want to take out the windows, get those all cleaned out. I'm here at my wife's parents', the kind of property that has woods off it, so I don't have to worry about making a mess. So at least want to get the window, maybe get the seats undone so I can dump them. They have a dump off the field you can dump them into, and then we're going to load her up and take her back so we can finish stripping it out. It's just got the old crank windows, so it shouldn't be too bad taking the door windows out. And then we'll cut out this one here. Same thing with the back window. Get her to focus. Cut it out, but yeah, should be hopefully a pretty quick turnaround. Ooh, camera's all out of focus there. Just wanted to briefly kind of show, ooh, there we go. Just wanted to briefly show before what she looked like. Not too bad. Underneath, I was gonna try to show, but it is so bad, so bad. By the way, I've got a pretty serious head cold, so I got a pretty hot sounding. See if you can. That right there, if you can see, that is the frame. Right there. That is the frame that's missing. There's a giant hole, and that's like all the way up the side. So I told my wife that. I said, well, honey, I'll build you a cage. I said, but this thing is rusted underneath like crazy. It doesn't have a lot of miles on it, too, which is kind of the crazy part. But yeah, that type of stuff right there, literally a hole in the frame. The other side's just like it. You can see there's literally part of the frame missing right there. Pretty wild. We are going to leave the tank in. Ran it like that with my wagon. It's also a lot easier. And this tank is inside. It's a smaller tank, kind of the plastic, so shouldn't be a problem at all. Bring the battery inside. Once we get the windows out and everything, just clean up some of the stuff around the motor, fuse box and all that. Whoop. Walked you back up. But you can see there's a lot of space here. I mean, this right here is just the plastic bumper. We'll take off. Here's the radiator, the core support. Take off all this extra nonsense plastic, and yeah, it runs pretty good. Shocks, brakes, I mean, all that stuff's like shot. So here we go. We're starting to tear down. See what we get after here. Hopefully a couple hours here, we'll be able to have the windows at least out and the seats, and then we'll take her home and go from there. So I just wanted to show this before I started tinkering, as my jaw literally hit the floor. And I was looking at the motor and I'm like, well, the fuse box is here. Where's the battery? The battery is back with the spare tire. I have never in my life seen this. I mean, again, I'm new to this. By the way, it's sweet I got a spare tire. I'm trying to add those babies up whenever I need them. The battery is bolted down in the trunk and is run to the motor. I never seen this in a Chevy, Ford, any of your normal GMC manufacturers. This is wild to me. Now, I still don't think this is going to be much of an issue. It's just wild to me. I mean, I'm going to have to take it inside the car and ground it, pretty much try to get it. There's your ground. I mean, again, the battery, oh, just wild. Wild to me. It's in the back. I'll probably try to bring it inside here. The tank's right here, inside the wheel well. try to ground it there and put it there. But yeah, I was like, wait a minute. I just briefly got the car, briefly looked under the hood, came in. I'm like, man, there's a lot of space up here, but I didn't really look at the motor until it just got out here, and I'm about to start tinkering. I'm like, wait a minute, there ain't no battery up here. Blows my mind. Hopefully it doesn't make it harder to get the battery set up inside the car in the passenger seat like I like, because it's pretty simple. Whenever the battery's here, I just splice my wires, run it over. Crazy. Alright, so we're losing the sunlight, but we got the door windows again, won't be a problem. They're cranked, those are easy to get out. Got the front windshield completely cut out. Got with my kind of paint chisel, if you will, the entire glass and everything, the rubber piece there around there. Same thing back here. Just one little piece of glass there I gotta grab. Got the glass again for this, just busted it in with a sledge and a blanket over it, or like an old drop towel, if you were a drop cloth for painting. Swept it all up, and we're ready to go. We're gonna load her up, take her back to the house so we can tomorrow morning probably strip off the plastic, the seats, take out the door windows before we put it in the garage. Or a little bit of rain coming. So successful first evening here. So just wanted to show a quick update video. We've now got her crammed into our garage here, which runs right into our house, and you can see my wife and kids kind of started to paint part of it. This is again her car, so I told her however she wanted to do it or go about it. Just got to do a couple things left. Going to replace, or put the wheels rather, from the back to the front. Front are pretty much completely bald. Back have a little bit of tread, about half worn. So not great tires, but get a little bit of better tread there. Pulled out of the motor. Kind of see here the big extra, all that extra plastic for the air intake. Pulled that out. This thing here is I'm not messing with because it's running into the top of the motor, and it's got different plugs and stuff going into it. So just going to leave that there, mask that. The tranny lines are right there, and you can see last night I spliced them together. Pretty simple. Shouldn't have any problem. Got to put a little bit of transmission fluid in it. Had a little bit leak out, and I didn't put a container on it in time, but took off the AC there in the front. This is actually the first time that I cut the plastic line. I literally just cut the rubber line rather right after it runs out of the AC, if you will, I don't know what you exactly call it, the AC part that sits right in front of the radiator, and it shot everywhere. It's the first time it's ever happened to me, but that was kind of wild. Inside is all stripped out. By the way, I still have like a nasal infection of some kind, so I sound pretty nasally. Apologize for the even more annoying sounds coming out of my mouth, but inside looks good. Pretty much ready to go. You can see this baby is so rusted that when I pick the carpet up is a hole in the floor. It is rusted through. Again, I've never seen a body like this. Kind of neat with the battery line running under the carpet all the way to the back where the battery is. I still have it there. I'm just going to pick it up, set it right here, and that line I can literally just boop, put right on it. So that's actually pretty sweet for a Derby setup. I don't even have to use my line splice over. And the other thing I'm going to do tonight, it's up to my wife to finish painting her, is put in the cage. Just going to put in a cage across here, bars there, make sure they line up. I'm actually going to run them just like before, run them right up to here. That worked well. So coming together, final moments. Tomorrow's the Derby, so tonight we got to finish putting her together. So here is our final build for my wife, her first Derby car. I let her do the paint job however she wanted, and last minute I said, honey, just throw on a ghost scary thing. It's October, getting close to Halloween. I don't know if you can see. There's a ghost on top and then kind of a scary face up front. But L5 is the number she's gone with. L for lips, 5 is her favorite number, L10 is my number. I got the kids' names, Hud, Nora, and James on the back. Just went with a simple black. In fact, I had to paint about half of it because she was last minute doing that. But it's a 2005 Chevy Cobalt. It is rusted out, something fierce. Again, there's holes there. There's holes right there. I don't know if you can see it. The camera's not refocused right in there. Excuse me. And it, she's rusted up. But we'll see. It'll be a good first attempt for her up front. Again, pretty simple. Just got some wires, the headlight wires taped up there and there. Take off all the plastic. Just put the wire on there so nothing gets sucked into the motor, into the air there. And other than that, just took off the extra stuff up here for the AC. I mean, again, it's stock, so you can't really do much of anything. Put in some door lube in the motor. Didn't mess with the thermostat or with the control sensor for the coolant temperature sensor rather. I couldn't find it super quick, and I wasn't planning on changing it anyways because this is kind of a last minute build during the school week when my wife had a party she was throwing that I had to help with and just other stuff, so it's super busy. But just put some extra water in the overflow there, couldn't think of the word, for the radiator. But yeah, she's rusted pretty bad, but you know, we'll see. Pleased with how it came out. Wiring again, I left the grounds in there. I'm pretty sure they're just for the speaker, but I'm like, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then again, I just taped my wires all up. You can see how the battery, again, because it was in the trunk, I literally just took, here's the battery line, the positive, the negative, just for the ground there, is right there. It worked perfectly to bolt it straight in there. I didn't even have to drill that hole was already there. And then I have the ratchet strap going both ways over top. It's kind of hard to see there, the camera went out of focus, but both ways over, kind of a crisscross. Took the existing holes, just took my titanium bit and kind of drilled a little bit wider so I get my ratchet straps in there. And I mean, it's pretty tight. I did the crisscross last derby with the wagon and it really worked well. The battery did not move and I didn't get a ton of big hits. The car was throwing fits the whole time, but worked pretty well. So I was able to do that again here and use the straight up stock terminals, the lines and everything, just took it out of there, ran them up here. So pretty simple inside. I'm going to put GoPro right in the corner here. I'm just going to take a zip tie and tie it up to face my wife, because if she gets in this car, I'm still not totally sure she's going to. Her reactions might be priceless, but she's pretty tough. She's pretty athletic, more of like a tomboy, or tom girl I should say, but tomboy type of you know, just demeanor. So we'll see. But that is her. Again, 2005 Chevy Cobalt. She's pretty rusted out. We're gonna let the wife take a run at her, so here we go.